All right, DC, should be interesting to see how it goes for him here tonight. I know you, as a high-level wrestler and Olympian yourself, are always curious to see guys who wrestled collegiately on this level now apply their trade in the UFC.
You know, you look at this guy and you think about his past. You think about his background, how he has been trained from his youth to be here. Even though he understood he wanted to be a mixed martial artist, his dad knew that he had to wrestle. And that wrestling took him through college, and it leads him to the UFC. That is why you see him approach fights the way that he does. It's been embedded in this kid. And if he can continue to evolve his entire mixed martial arts game to match his wrestling level, he's hell on wheels. He's shown that to this point.
And one thing he has focused on is being more active when he does get the fight to the ground. So perhaps we'll see an uptick in the ground and pound here tonight as this high-level wrestler gets back to work. Yes, the sweet science. This guy could have been a professional boxer, probably a world champion if he so chose. He loves the MMA game, but his boxing is certainly his bread and butter.
I mean, a guy that was on par to make an Olympic team, and that is in one specific skill set. When you reach that level, when you're winning the national championship, and you're about to go to the Olympics, but you choose a different avenue.
Yeah.
You decide you want to fight mixed martial arts. It's truly something special. He has the most educated jab I have ever seen in the octagon. He throws the jab. It always comes back to the face. It never goes to the hip. And if you rush him, he has an ability to switch stances from conventional to southpaw and land a great counter right hand that will put your lights out.
Better jab than your guy, Rosendo Sanchez?
Oh,
no?
It's unbelievable. He puts Rosendo Sanchez to shame.
Well, it is the venue in which every UFC athlete hopes to one day compete, and we are now ready to go from Madison Square Garden here in New York City. And now our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight. The veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Clay the Carpenter Guida. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, an Ultimate Fighter season winner, Diego Nightmare Sanchez.
Herb Dean, our referee for this one. All right, ready to go for round one. You don't have to worry about Clay Guida's cardio, no doubt about it. But the focus tonight, trying to throw hands early and get off to a good start. If he has to get on the bicycle and absorb some damage, so be it. But Clay Guida tonight, trying to get off to a good start and take control of this one. Takedown defense holds up.
Look at the control of the posture as they land that knee.
Misses with the left hook. Right, early round one action here, and the wrestler immediately is able to get the clinch. Seems to be a means to an end, though. He's going to try to take this fight down.
Absolutely, Johnny. He wants to wear on the arms. He understands how powerful this boxer is. So by grabbing and squeezing and making him squeeze, it starts to build the lactic acid. The arms start to blow up, and you start to get a little fatigued. That's what this wrestler's trying to do to slow this boxing guy down.
Oh, straight punch. It's there again. Big. Looked like it did stun him a little bit.
He's in trouble.
Under 3 minutes here to go in the round.
Take it for a ride. Nice double leg. Nice finish.
Guida's got his hand looking for a guillotine. Oh, gotta protect your neck. Guillotine choke is locked in. Oh, he got out. How good is that?
This guy is so aware. He never leaves anything long to allow for himself to get subbed. Now he's got good body position, yup. ref won't help you here. Just as the referee will never take a guy out of mount, they will not take a guy off of your back. You have to get him out of this position.
Oh, the ground and pound strikes continue to rain down. The opponent better move out of harm's way or the referee's going to stop this.
He better start to move, and when his opponent starts to posture, he needs to put his feet on the hip, push him away, try to escape this very, very dangerous position.
Well, working pretty effectively from the top here. Nice ground and pound by Sanchez. Another ground and pound strike gets home.
Oh, he's got to be careful there, yep.
Nicely done there as he forces the miss from his opponent.
60 seconds left.
Guida's in half guard. All right, 45 seconds now to go in the round. .30 seconds now to go in the round. Good work from the top here by Sanchez. And there it is, another strike gets through on the ground. Side control now, DC. A lot of options at his disposal from here. Second round, straight ahead.
Great work. You won that last round. This round, you want to keep mixing things up. Use your punches, use your knees, use your kicks. I want to see you work that distance.
Well, what a round it was, especially from a striking standpoint. DC, take us through.
High-level striking. I mean, this is what people come through the doors to see. Two men stand on a quarter, chest to chest, forehead to forehead, and let it all fly. I'm surprised nobody went out, but it does excite me for the next round.
You ready to fight? Ready. Go.
All right, round two. Nice jab there. Starting to do some really significant... Oh!
Oh, no! Oh, my goodness.
So pretty good recovery by the opponent after getting stunned pretty good. Got to capitalize on those opportunities.
I mean, you can't waste these opportunities. You don't get them as often as you'd like. So you get a guy hurt, you got to find him. Oh, no!
Gets back to his feet.
He's hurting the bad, man. That right hook is nasty.
Guida going for the takedown here. Nothing doing there.
Jab, snaps the head back.
Sanchez gets stung by that leg kick. Looks as though that strike maybe opened up a cut around the eye area.
Yeah, it looks like that strike opened up a cut, John, but there's nothing to worry about now, but he's got to start to protect it.
Man, takedown defense 101. Sometimes I watch this boxer stuff shots, and it seems like he's been wrestling his whole life.
Well, that's the first thing you have to do when you come into this sport is learn to defend takedowns. He has done that. He spent a lot of time working on this specific skill, and it is showing tonight inside the octagon.
Hard shots landing on both sides here. Takedown defense is there. Oh, big elbow. Now he gets a more dominant position with the underhook.
He is going to start to drive these over and over. You got to be careful here. You got to move.
Under 2 minutes now to go. Well, he's in a compromising spot here, DC. You got to figure out a way to get back to your feet. Ooh, right into side control, DC.
This is where you want to be now because you get to make your opponent decide. They try to turn back into you, you can attack guillotine. If they turn away to try to get to your knees, you throw your hooks in and you got all your rear choke submissions.
Well, the cut man's getting excited, but nobody else is. That cut's getting worse by the minute.
Every time he gets hit there, it gets a little bit messier.
All right, so he's sort of turtled up here. Not great body language. Perhaps he's trying to bait him in a little bit. Sanchez is in half guard now. Most fighters will tell you offensive wrestling is the hardest, most exhausting thing.
Especially if you're just running a guy over, John, and then he just gets up.
Really good job to land these strikes from top position.
He's going after that cut over and over again, and every time he lands, the cut gets worse.
All right, round 3 coming up next. All right, there's the end of the round, and hopefully not the end of the fight. He doesn't look as handsome as he did when he walked out. That is a severe gash on his face.
Expected that more. Refocus.
All right, let us now get you some replays of all the damage done in that previous round, including the strike that opened up the cut.
Yeah, some nasty strikes landed over the course of that round, and it opened up a nasty cut. He has got to find a way to change some things defensively, or that cut is just going to get worse and worse. And the worse it gets, the more he runs the risk of this fight getting stopped.
You ready to fight? Ready.
3rd round underway.
Nice.
Countering with the jab here, but a nice job blocking it by Sanchez.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Oh, he is stunned. Drunk driving out there. We'll see if he can recover.
He's getting lit up right now, John.
Guida's now switching his stance. His misses are empty. Guida's able to protect the eye there with that blocks. All right, good back and forth action, but they pause things here, DC. They're going to call in the ringside physician and take a look at what is a nasty cut.
Well, he's got to check on it because you don't know if the fighter's going to be able to continue. Fighters always want to fight, but it's up to the ringside physician to tell them if they're capable of it.
I'm not even sure how the doctor's going to be able to find that cut under all the blood, but he did, and it looks as though, given the location, he's going to allow the fighter to continue, at least for now. All right, so the ringside physician has made his way back to his seat. The referee gets the action back underway. The fans are excited this fight's going to continue.
Absolutely, and I'm just as excited myself. I want to see these guys compete. I want to see who wins. I don't want it to stop because of a cut. I want to see the best fighter get their hand raised at the end of the night. Luckily, we get to try to do that. He's hurt again!
All right, side control now, DC. You know he's in his element on the ground. A lot of tricks up his sleeve.
A lot of tricks.
Ooh, good movement to avoid that strike from the top. Guida ground and pound from half guard. Oh, and he escapes up to his feet. Very nice. All right, so he finally gets the takedown here. He kept on trying, stayed committed. He told us before the fight, at some point, I'm going to be able to take him down, and that's exactly the way it played out. Well, he's worked very hard on this part of his game, and these ground strikes are really starting to take their toll.
Getting them out here.
Again, not much defense there. Another ground strike gets through. And very effective with the ground and pound.
He's got to be careful here.
Well, not good body language from his opponent here, DC. He's curled up.
No, he's exhausted. He's been beaten.
Less than a minute to go in the round. All right, so you got to be careful playing on the ground with this guy. You don't want to mess around for too long. Really doing a nice job getting these shots home on the ground. These ground strikes really started to add up. There's another one. Guida ground and pound from half guard. He is making these shots count. Final seconds of round 3. Grounded him and pounding him. Nice job. That's 3 rounds in the can. We're headed to the championship rounds. All right, good news is the round is over. Bad news, Guida's eye is in real trouble, folks. That does not look good. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the ringside physician be called on here. He might even stop the fight. We'll see. All right, let us get you some replays from the damage in that previous round. Perhaps we can even isolate the shot that opened the cut.
I mean, just some big shots landed over the course of that round. And he wasn't responsible defensively. He was trying to tough out way too many situations. You can't do that when you're fighting a guy like this. If he doesn't change something, he's going to find himself in trouble.
4th round, fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
He didn't like that left hand.
Oh, and he tags him with the straight. Beautifully placed there by Guida.
Ooh, another shot to the head.
Double leg.
Nice pass.
It's getting really hard to watch him absorb shots on that eye. I wonder if the referee's thinking about calling in the doctor now.
Well, John, the entirety of the fight, that has been the target of his opponent. He has not adjusted defensively, and now he's paying for it. Now, somebody's going to have to save him. Great ground and pound by this man.
Oh, nice job to split his guard and get the ground strike home again.
Look at that. Recognized he was about to lose position.
Oh, lands with the ground and pound strike.
Another ground and pound strike lands for this man.
All right, so perhaps he's gonna have to address something defensively. There is a legitimate cut around his eye.
Yeah, he got cut on the eye from that last strike. He's got to pay attention now before it gets worse.
Closed guard here. He's very comfortable here working off his back, DC. All right, working out of side control here. His opponent trying to control posture, but you gotta be careful here. 90 seconds to go in the round.
He hasn't moved on the bottom, and now he's starting to swell after he takes another ground and pound strike.
Fourth round here, less than a minute to go. Guida's back in full mess. Well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. Oh, big pop from the crowd as they get back to their feet after a pretty scintillating grappling battle there on the ground.
Well, it's an educated crowd, John. They appreciated all the grappling exchanges and how skilled both of these men are.
Horn sounds for the end of round 4. All right, so that round is in the books. Guida's eye is in rough shape. I mean, I would just probably quit, but he's not going to do that. But I would not be surprised if the ringside physician did come in and take a look at that here between rounds. All right, so as the cut man gets to work, we'll re-rack some replays from the previous round.
Well, he's got some work to do. The cut man's going to have to work a miracle because this guy was on the receiving end of some real damaging shots. And if he doesn't do something different defensively, it's going to get worse. And if it gets worse, the fight may be stopped.
You ready to fight? You ready?
Fifth and final round.
Pretty good head kick there. There it is, now he's going to mount.
Well, as usual, suffocating work from the top here by Guida. Oh, another strike lands from the top.
Nice transition.
All right, side control now. We'll see if he can advance position. All right, half guard now. Not a fighter you want in half guard against you. For the bottom fighter, what does he need to do?
He needs to secure his underhook. He's got to be fighting for underhook. One of the most key things you can do as a bottom fighter stuck in half guard is try to frame. You frame and push your opponent. He's gonna start trying to move to a submission here. It looks like he's trying to attack the arm triangle. Oh, that's getting deep.
You gotta be kidding me, he's out.
Good work, guys.
Man, submission defense is a powerful thing. Offense keeps going for it. Defenders held up every step of the way.
Yeah, the defense have done a great job just making sure he leaves nothing long, no submission attempts. Even when they get him, he continues to stay calm and patient, and he's defending these submissions.
All right, late in the fight now, DC. The submission specialist clearly is going to be on the wrong end of the scorecards if we get there.
You gotta get going. It does not matter if you get reversed from the top. It does not matter if you get guard pass. You gotta just start throwing up submissions and hope by causing action, you can latch onto something to end the fight.
Well, you know this is the hurt business, and both guys are compromised at this stage of the fight.
Yeah, both guys are compromised. Both guys have been beat up. Both guys have done a great job of landing, recognizing what they wanted to get done, and it's showing. This is a very evenly matched fight.
And there is the final horn. What a 25-minute affair tonight. We're going to the scorecards. The official decision is in. It resides with Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest 49-46. For the winner by unanimous decision, Diego Nightmare Sanchez!
All right, well, if you are going to leave it to the judges, you want to leave the suspense out of it, and that is certainly what this boxer did here tonight. Takedown defense on point throughout, and the hand speed was omnipresent as well.
Omnipresent, that's a word right there, boy. You are a smart man, John.
I'm not. I'm much dumber than people think.
I love calling fights with you, but I also love watching this guy fight when he's on his game. Tonight he was on his game, and even though he didn't get that finish, he was able to earn a clear decision victory in a very tough matchup for him. Congratulations.